Hey everybody, HK Sniper here. So, as of this recording, it's December. We're hitting the slow season of reenacting. Not a whole lot of events going on, there's some here and there. So, a lot of people are either just taking a break from the hobby, or they spend this time improving their impressions or kits and whatnot. But I thought to make a video on how you, as a reenactor, can improve your impression, improve yourself as a reenactor without spending a dime.
Free!
That's right, totally for free. Don't even have to jump on at the front's Black Friday sale or whoever else is doing holiday sales. You don't have to spend a cent with them in order to do these. And I'm not telling you to not buy stuff. You should always be improving your kit and whatnot. And now is a great time to do so. A lot of places running sales and whatnot. They got stock because they're anticipating the holiday season. You get the picture. Anyway, I thought to make a video with 6 points of things that you can do for free, at least for the most part. There's one in here that, yeah, it might cost some money, but you can do for free. However, I digress. This is, in my opinion, it's common sense, but some people just might not think of it. So, hopefully this helps some people out, maybe get some ideas in their head, and helps them improve. That's the point of this. Anyway, number one, never stop learning about whatever time period that you're doing, and never stop learning about your unit and your impression. You should always be doing research, and you should have an open mind to new information. I always have a saying with new information is to trust but verify. Take in that information but verify it. Don't just take other people's word for it. There's a lot of misinformation. That is a very common thing that's been going on in this hobby for a very long time, and it's going nowhere anytime soon. So, spend this time, break open the books, dig deep on, research. Spend this time improving your knowledge. Because a lot of people, spectator-wise, and we're all, and kind of pull back a little bit, we are all students of history, and that's what we should be doing, period. We should be researching, learning, soaking up that information. Because, and to go back to the point I was making, because when we go to public events, the public is actually very curious about that stuff. And the more information that you know, the more beneficial you are to the event, to your unit, and to the public, because you're going to draw that attention and they're going to listen to you. And hey, if people walk out of that event having learned new information, awesome. So spend this time, as point number one, spend this time doing research. So point number two, practice your tactics and using your equipment. Get with some of the guys in your unit. Head out to the woods. Do some stuff. Get out there and practice your tactics. Practice using your equipment. This includes your ammunition pouches. This includes throwing grenades. This improves small unit tactics. Use, of course, period tactics. It's a great time to practice this stuff because it improves your impression out on the field. Remember, we're portraying, at least for the most part, we're portraying trained soldiers. It does stand out when you're out there and you're struggling to reload your rifle because you're not familiar with it at all. It stands out when you're trying to throw a grenade and you're not familiar with it. So get out there and use your stuff. Learn how to use it, because in the long run, it just makes it more comfortable for you. You become a whole lot easier in reloading your weapon, stuff like that, using your pouches, using what's on your belt, using your just equipment in general. Look like you're comfortable using it. Look like you use it every day, because that's what you would be doing. And it does stand out, like I said, and the public will realize that, hey, you're not struggling to reload your weapon, to fire your weapon. Get familiar with it. If you can, take your weapon out to a range and live fire the thing. Get familiar with it. This is a great time to do it, so get to it. So, number three, and this one is the one that I kind of thought, yeah, you could probably spend some money on this, but for the most part, there are free resources. If you are doing an impression that is non English speaking, learn the language that you are portraying, of the nation that you're portraying, and practice it. There are free resources out there. Use them. They're free. Duolingo is a great one. The owl will bug the crap out of you, but I mean, it's a great resource to use. It it teaches you kind of how you learned English in school, through pictures and conversations, listening, and this and that. I feel Duolingo is a great resource. No, this is not an ad for them. This is just what I use to practice. I just don't have the ability to practice with anyone. So that's what I use. And I think it's a good resource. There are others out there. Some cost money, some are free. Get a pen pal from this country and communicate with them. Have them help you out. It's just get familiar with the language, because when you're out on the field and you're shouting out orders, you're talking, it just looks so much better. I should say it sounds. It sounds so much better when the actual languages are being used to some context instead of everyone just yelling and screaming in English. It does break the immersion, and it does break the immersion for the public. I'm not saying you have to speak it fluently, but if you can at least count and say basic commands and understand basic commands, you're light years ahead of a lot of people. So use this time to learn the language. Next point, breaking in your equipment and getting used to it on hikes and walks. This is a great time to get some new boots, break them in. Got some new ammunition pouches that are super tight, break them in. Go out and wear your stuff. And that kind of goes back to practicing tactics and using your equipment, but this is a little more relaxed. Also makes for great exercise. Get out there, wear your stuff, get familiar with it. Like I said before, this is a great time to do it. Great time to break that stuff in, get it all nice and ready for the upcoming reenacting season. So the next point I have here, number 5, network and coordinate with other units and events. Work together. Everybody, things go a lot better when we work together. There's just it, and it's been in the hobby for decades. But there's just little cliques in units that they're kind of their own hermit thing, where they kind of just do whatever and they hardly interact with anybody. There's quite a few out there, and they have their reasons, and I'm not going to sit here and slam them. But if we network, we communicate between events and units and whatnot, this goes a long way. There's a lot of downtime. There's a lot of time for networking. Social media is an easy way to do it. Email is an easy way to do it. Get people's phone numbers. Shoot text messages back and forth. Brainstorm. Get the think tank going. We got all this time to think about potentially new events, new ideas, and to share information. This allows the upcoming season to flow so much better. And hey, you might make a friend or two. So my last point, improve your attitude. Assist the other reenactors on help pages and whatnot, and just be helpful to an extent. There's, on a lot of pages, there's a lot of really crappy attitudes with reenactors, and it's kind of funny because a lot of these people run their mouth, and then in person they don't. Don't be an idiot. Don't be a jerk. I understand a lot of questions, and it's just like with the public. You get a lot of repetitive questions with new people. You hear the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. New person joins, they ask the same question that the last new person that joined, and that person before him, and them, and them, and them, and them, and them, and blah, 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 etc., etc., etc. Just treat everyone with the same level of respect. Be helpful. And I've said this so many times, be an ambassador to this hobby, a good ambassador. Because if we're chasing people away, it's not helping anybody at all. And trust me, you do chase people away when you're an idiot and treat a new person totally like crap and don't help them at all. At minimum, guide them in the right direction. And I say be helpful to an extent because, you know what, yeah, I fully understand that there are people out there that just cannot be helped. And they think that someone has to hold their hand for every step of the way. And yeah, those people, I'm not saying that they're a waste of time, but they kind of drag. They drag the process, and at some point they need to learn. You have to do some research on your own. You can't have someone spoon feed you this information and hold your hand the whole way. Guide them that direction. Help them get that confidence. Try to build them up. If they're truly a lost cause, then they're a lost cause. There's nothing that's going to fix that. No amount of good attitude and good tactics are going to improve that. But if you're on there and you're just arguing back and forth, well, and about this, about that, and you've got a real bad attitude with other reenactors, that's the other part of this, improving your attitude. If you're on there and you're just spending your entire winter arguing with everybody about the dumbest stuff, it just ends up looking like this.
Yes, it is! No, it isn't! Yes, it is! No, it isn't! Is it? Is it?
And that's just pointless. It is not very constructive. Is it funny? Yeah, sometimes it is. But come on. Let's improve our attitudes. Let's keep things going forward and just cooperating with each other as reenactors. We're all in the same hobby for mostly the same reasons. I say mostly because there are some differences here and there. For the most part, we're in this hobby for the same reasons. Might as well, we don't have to be friends, but you can have the respect. So, at that, hope everyone has a good holidays coming up and had a good Thanksgiving. And I'm sure I'm going to come up with something else here soon. Kind of spend this time thinking on my own, using my own brainstorming and whatnot. And I'd like to come up with some more content on the channel. I know it's been kind of lacking lately, but it is what it is. Don't know what more to say. I get ideas and they kind of fizzle out. It is what it is. But I'd like to come up with more stuff here in the near future. Be safe, everyone. Have a good one.